Have you answered a simple question and then kept talking like you already gave the answer, but something inside you say, wait, they don't fully understand me. So you explain again and then again, adding more detail, more context, more justification, not because you want to, but because you feel like you have to. And later, you replay the whole conversation in your head and thinking, why did I say so much? If that feels familiar, this is not just a habit, it's psychology. Today, we are going deeper than surface level advice. We are not just talking about talk less or be confident. We are uncovering why some people feel an intense need to over explain themselves, why silence feel uncomfortable, why being misunderstood feels almost painful, and why your brain is actually trying to protect you when you do this. Because the truth is, over explaining is not a communication problem, it's an emotional survivor pattern. Where it starts, let's go back for a moment. Imagine a version of you who tried to express something important but was not heard. Maybe you were interrupted, maybe you were dismissed, maybe someone said you are overacting, you are wrong, stop talking, or worse, they didn't even listen. And when that happens repeatedly, your brain learns something very powerful: my voice alone is not enough. So what does your brain do? It adopt, it start adding layer, more explanation, more proof, more detail, because somewhere deep inside you are trying to make sure this never happen again. You are not just speaking, you are defending your right to be understood. Hidden fear. Now, here is the part most people don't realize. Over explaining is driven by fear, not loud fear, but quite internal fear. The fear of being misunderstood, the fear of being judged, the fear of being dismissed again. So, your brain think, if I explain everything clearly enough, they wouldn't reject me. If I cover every angle, they wouldn't question me. If I keep talking, I stay in control. And that's the key word here: control. Over explaining create an illusion of control and in unpredictable social situation, because silence feel risky but talking feel safe. The stability loop. There is another layer to this, because people who over explain often feel responsible for keeping conversation stable. They monitor reaction constantly. Did they understand? Did I say something wrong, or do I need to fix this? So they keep talking not to express but to stabilize the interaction. It's like emotional micromanagement. And the problem is, the more you try to control the conversation, the more anxiety you become. Anxious you can become, you can say, because now you are not just talking, you are performing. Then real life example you can take. Let's make this real. Someone ask you, why were you late? A simple answer could be traffic, but instead your mind goes, no, that's not enough. So you say, yeah, there was a traffic and actually I left on time, but then there signal issue and I didn't want you to think I'm careless, I'm usual, leave early. Now pause, look at what just happened. You didn't just answer, you justified your character, because somewhere inside you felt like your image was at risk. That's not a communication, that's self protection. The truth most people miss, the truth that might feel uncomfortable, most people are not analyzing you as deeply as you think. They are not dissecting your words, they are not judging every pause, but your brain, trained by past experience, still behave like they are. So it over compassionate, not because you are weak, but because your mind is trying to prevent pain in it. Remember very clearly. Now, breaking this pattern, how? So, how do you start changing this? Not by forcing yourself to talk less. That doesn't work. Instead, you build a trust with silence. Next time your answer something, stop. Even if it feel incomplete, even if it feel uncomfortable, let the silence exist and watch what happen. Most of the time, nothing bad. No rejection, no misunderstanding, no conflict. Just space. And slowly your brain start learning, I don't need to over explain to be understood. Now You were never too much. You just learned to say more because at some point less was not enough. But now you are allowed to speak without proving, to express without defending, to be understood without exhausting yourself. If this made you pause and think, hit like if you saw yourself in this, subscribe to my channel, and tell me in the comment what's one moment where you realize you were over explaining, not because you wanted to, but because you felt like you had to. Because sometimes awareness is the first step to finally feeling heard. If you like, then stay tuned with lifeveda. Thank you.